I am pleased to welcome to the 2025 edition of Statehouse Conversation, Lori Goss Reaves, District 31, Marion, Indiana, but a lot of Grant County, a little bit of Madison County, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So
mostly Grant and Grant and Madison.
And thank you for taking time out to chat about your priorities for this session. Now, you and your 149 closest friends have introduced well over 1,000 bills.
Yes.
What do you want to see among those happen? You've introduced 10 yourself, which is a limit. Talk about the most pressing issues as you see them.
Yeah, I just care a lot about our small towns. So I have a bill that's a small town opportunity initiative. Remember when I was running for election, had people from Fairmount and small towns of Upland that are around me in Fallerton and Van Buren say to me, don't forget about us. And
Who could forget James Dean's hometown?
Well,
Come on now.
That is true, yes. But we want to make sure that we have some opportunities for growth there. Our downtowns, just places that we want people to be able to enjoy going and seeing our towns thriving.
Well, how does that unfold over the next 4 months? I mean, that's certainly a laudable goal. What has to happen for that to advance the ball there? Well,
I think what I've learned down here more than anything is that, and I already knew it when I got here, but I didn't know it also was as true in this space, is how important it is that we just listen, learn, and develop relationships with people that can bring new perspective to the table, that we can share our perspective from what life has taught us, and then we come to a space that hopefully helps people, right? That's why we're here.
I think a lot of people would be surprised that many pieces of legislation aren't coming out of some boilerplate national organization. They're coming from your constituents,
Absolutely.
Or somebody you see at the coffee shop, or somebody who calls you up and says, I got a problem.
That's right.
Is that the case for you this session?
Oh, absolutely. Even Monday evening, got a phone call from a volunteer firefighter from my district, and he noticed a bill not authored by me, and he wanted to see if volunteer firefighters could be added as an opt-in. And so I called the author of the bill and called him back and did the ask for him. To me, that's the whole reason I'm here, right? I want to be a voice to the best of my ability for the vulnerable, for those that don't have a voice here, and for those who want to share things that we wouldn't have known. That wasn't a bill that was on my radar, and for him to look at that and say, hey, Lori, why are we not included? And then for me to be able to dig into it a little deeper to find out the why, give him the answer, and then do the ask for him.
What a great antidote to cynicism among voters and constituents who say, nobody listens to me.
No.
You're not only listened, but you got the answer and called back.
Well, absolutely. I had Monday night, another phone call from another constituent that said, hey, tell me about this bill. So I have to look it up because it wasn't one of mine. And she was very excited about it. So I went right to the author and connected the two of them.
Wow, I now know when I have a research question, you can save me a lot of time.
Well,
I'm just going to call you on everything. Is there anything that has to happen by the end of over the next 4 months that will allow you to go back to Grant County and say, hey, good news? What's, and I know you have to pass a budget. That's the one thing that is not negotiable. Everything else is, they're pressing needs, but it's not a statutory obligation. But what for you is an obligation?
Yeah, I hope I have a lot of good news to share. I also hope that I can go back with the why behind some things, right? Everybody wants certain things that they need for their area. For example, we have a sheriff in my district, Sheriff Del Garcia, phenomenal man, who contacted me early on this summer to talk about his concern of individuals who have mental illness and an intellectual disability that are finding their way into the county jail. And so we had 4 or 5 meetings this summer that went into the fall, got a hold of some state contacts for him, and really didn't land on any specific legislation, but a need for a study. To see if we are serving that population in a way that can help them have what they need to not be in the criminal justice system.
Well, and as you know, around this place, discussion is where everything starts. It's very seldom that a novel bill gets enacted right off with the bat. Yeah. It takes us, we tend to like to chew on things, I think, in the state of Indiana. A lot of this, what you've described to me, relates to sort of a core belief in public service. I know that's something we were talking off camera that's important to you. Give me your definition of public service. What gets you out of bed in the morning to come here? And what would you want your constituents to know that they may not fully appreciate about what you and your colleagues on both sides of the aisle do here day in and day out?
Okay. Well, sir, a year ago I sat here and tears came to my eyes. I have a son who's 29 who has Down syndrome and severe autism, and he was in the hospital, and I couldn't talk to you without tearing up. And so today he's home and he's healthy. And so I have lived through some hard things. My dad was killed in the Vietnam War. I'm a social worker by trade, so my master's degree, bachelor's degree, and doctorate are all in social work. And so I just thank God for the opportunity to take the hard parts of life that I would have never asked for and I wish would have never come into my world. But to take those things and what I've learned from them and to be able to use those to help other people, to be able to come to the table with stories of real people who are facing hard things that need this body to at least have their face in their mind as we make hard decisions that will impact the lives of people.
It's that reminder that everybody working here is human being, and just as the people are that are paying the bill that you work for, they're your constituents.
That's right.
And I do remember that conversation last year, and I'm thrilled that the outcome was a positive one.
Thank you. I'm just thankful to be here, and I have to tell you, there's wonderful people here. People can think what they want. There are wonderful people here that truly care about getting it right for our constituents or doing it the best that we can. Right? We're not always going to get it right. But to know that our heart desires to do the best we can for the people that we're here to represent. There's no other reason to be here.
I can't think of a better note to end on. So
Thank
we'll
you.
leave it there. Representative Lori Goss Reaves from Marion, Grant County, a little bit of Madison County. Can't let them out.
That's
District
right.
31. I thank you for taking time to chat about your hopes for this session, and I commend you on your commitment to your constituents, to the state of Indiana, and to public service. Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir.